Good morning, friends. It is so beautiful out here today. A little bit chilly. I had to put my vest on, but I'm going to try to work out here in the garden some today. But this morning I posted up on one of my little stories. I try to put an encouraging word or a Bible verse or something like that. And so today I posted up a verse out of 2 Corinthians chapter 5 that says, walk by faith and not sight. And as I started to head out of the house, I was like, what does that really look like? And so I just did this little litmus test, kind of. I have, of course, had my hat on, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to let Bo Duke take me to the chicken coop today. I'm going to kind of hide my eyes. I'm not going to see where he takes me, but he knows our routine. And so he knows that I would be going to let the chickens out. So I got a hold of his collar and I said, all right, take me to the chickens. And I just put my head down and I focused my eyes on him and a little bit of the ground so that I, didn't trip over all these clods of dirt from moles or whatever that's crawling under the ground. But held on to his collar. And I just walked with him, just head down like this, looked at his head and just like the immediate ground around me. Wasn't looking where we were going. And I noticed that he started walking me in the direction of the chicken coop. And we got off into some deep grass and I'm like, this is not the way we should be going. But I knew that we were headed in the general direction. And before long, he gets me to the area that I know will take me through the gate to the chicken coop, into the garden. And so we get into the garden and Bo Duke hears something. And so he stops. And I see that he's looking over in the direction of the sound he heard. It was a gunshot, so somebody was probably out doing some target practice or something like that. So he heard 3 shots, and he just stopped and looked. And then I just waited for him. And eventually he went on his way, and he deposited me right at the door to the chicken run so that I could let the chickens out. And it just really kind of hit home for that verse in the Bible that says walk by faith and not by sight. If we keep our eyes on Jesus, Jesus is going to take us where we need to go. It might not be the exact path that we would have taken had we been looking and going ourselves. But I tell you what, if we trust the Lord, he's going to take us exactly where we need to be. Just like Bo Duke knew that it was his job to take me to the chickens to let them out, he led me, he guided me all the way directly to the door of the chicken run where I opened the chicken stores to let them out. He took me right there and he stopped. He knew that that's where I was supposed to be at that particular moment. Isn't that just kind of a cool thing that we can trust our Lord to take us exactly where we need to be, even though we may not necessarily see where we're going, know what's coming next. We may not be on the path that we think that we should be on, but God is going to get us to where he needs us to be if we put our faith and our trust in him. And that is my message to you today from the farm. Have a good Monday.